Hello! Today we bring you a video with all of our favorite fidget toys. Let's start with a very cool fidget. The first thing we have to do is to put tape on a piece of acetate and roll it up like this. And I'm rolling it very carefully so that it has the same diameter on both sides. When we have it, we put the tape inside. And we're gonna check that the cup fits perfectly. Remember that we're going to fill it with liquid, so nothing can be loose, it has to be well adjusted. Now to make sure that nothing moves, we're going to put silicone on one of the cups, and we're going to put the acetate tube on top of it. We have to wait until it's completely dry before we put anything inside. And now to make sure that no liquid comes out, we're going to put silicone also on the edge. And we're going to secure it a little more with tape. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you like our videos. You help us a lot to keep recording videos like this one. And now comes the fun part, which is to fill our acetate tube with everything we want. We are adding stars, some small pom-poms, glitter in 2 colors, and a little more stars. There's never enough of them. As you can see, it looks like it's not a lot, but when we put the liquid inside, it will be beautiful, you'll see. Now we pour the baby oil very carefully, and this part is very important. We have to leave a little air so that later there's a bubble that moves all over our wand. And now we put the other cup to close it. So we put silicone, we put it on top, and we secure it a little bit more. It's perfect! Look how cool our wand has turned out. But let's decorate it a little bit more to make it perfect. We're going to put some silicone on the ends, and we've decided to put a strip of glitter paper. Psst, have you already left us a like on this video? We hope you're liking it a lot! Well, and now we put a little circle of the same glitter paper on top. And you see how much better it looks, right? Don't tell me it's not amazing! We have a very relaxing fidget and it reminds us a lot of sensory bottles. What do you think? What would you put inside your wand? We hope you like this fidget! Let's go with the next one! We're going to start by hydrating our water beads with water. And now we're going to pour them into a bottle. As you can see, I'm separating them so that they don't get too much water inside. And when we have them in our bottle, we're going to take our balloon and we're going to inflate it. And now we're going to make some twists like this. And we're going to put it on the top of the bottle. And when we let it go, as you can see, the air stays inside. And now we're going to empty the bottle inside the balloon so that all the little water beads fall in. When we have it, we're going to press the top part very carefully, and we're going to let all the air come out so that only the water beads remain inside. And when it's ready, we close it. As you can see, this way we have a fidget that is already super fun by itself. To make it even cooler, let's add this mesh. In our case, it was where some cheese came, but the ones where the fruit comes would work as well. As you can see, we're going to wrap the whole balloon like this. We're going to try that small metallic part that it has is on the bottom of the balloon, and the open part is on top. This way we can make some twists, and with a little bit of patience, we're going to try to put the zip tie so that it is totally closed. This way the mesh will not go anywhere. And we're going to tighten it as much as we can. When it's ready, we can cut it. And we're also going to cut the top part of the balloon. And now we have it! Look, it's really cool! The water beads try to come out through the holes in the mesh, and the effect is great! You have to be very careful not to squeeze it too hard so it doesn't break, obviously. But for now, we love this fidget. Now we're going to make a very relaxing fidget with just an elastic band and some beads. In our case, we found some beads of letters that we love, so we're going to put moon. And we're putting them on with a lot of patience. And now, before closing it, make sure you leave a little gap between the knot and the beads. This way we will be able to move it and the fidget will be much more relaxing. Close it with another knot and cut off all the excess. And that's it! You can move it between your hands, stretch it, fold it, knot it. It's really cool. And it looks pretty nice, right? One way to use this fidget is to put it as a keychain. So we will have two functions, and if you're nervous, you can use it as a fidget. It's cool, isn't it? Let's continue with the fidget that we love. Let's start by cutting the top of the balloon. And we're going to make a small cut on the bottom. And now we're going to put the transparent balloon inside the other one. It's a little bit hard, but in the end you will get it, I promise. We take out the top part of the transparent balloon on top, and we make sure that the other part is well tucked in. And now we're going to fill it with whatever we want. We're going to add a little bit of yellow glitter, and a few golden stars. Perfect. And now we take it to the tap, and we're going to fill it a little bit with water. That's it. We close it very carefully, and look, when we squeeze it, it looks so cool. We think it's awesome. We knew we were going to like it, but we didn't know it's gonna look so cool. We love it. It's one of our favorite fidget toys, and it can be made in any color you want. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? What do you think? Let's keep going with another fidget. You'll see how nice this one looks. We're gonna start shaping our pieces of foam sheet. As you can see, I put the two together so that when I cut them, they look exactly the same. Perfect. And now with the needle, very carefully we're going to sew it underneath. If you don't want to sew, you can also glue it with silicone, but we're not sure if it's gonna be as resistant. If you're liking this video, don't forget to leave a like. Ready! And now we're going to prepare the beads, which are going to be like the little piece that come out from the inside. We're going to put a small piece of rubber band, like this, and we're also going to sew it very close to the bead. Remember that they have to go back to the foam sheet afterwards, so the shorter it is, the easier it will be to put it back inside. Now you'll see what I mean. When we have it sewn, we're going to turn it inside out. And we're going to sew it in the center. And as you can see, the elastic is so short that it would stay inside, and when we press it with our fingers, it will stretch and make the bead come out. We sew the other two beads, and it will be ready. We can leave it like this, but to make it a little bit more resistant, we decided to add one more layer of foam sheet on the outside. This is very easy. We just sewed two pieces on the outside again, and it looks like this. This way we can squeeze it without fear of breaking it. It's super relaxing, we love it. And it's very similar to the one that you can buy. But it lacks one small detail. We can make little faces on the beads. So we're doing that now with a permanent marker. Look how pretty it looks! The truth is that we didn't expect it to look this cool. We're very happy. Let's go with the next one. We're going to make a puppet in the shape of a heart. For that I'm making a template, but if you draw very well, you can do it by hand. As you can see, I'm tracing this template on the cardboard. And I'm going to make circles all over the heart. we're going to make a super cool puppet. Make sure they're more or less symmetrical to make it look even better. When we have it, we're going to cut it out. And also the circles that we've made. And when we have one, we will do the same on the other cardboard. And to make them exactly the same, we're going to use the one that we have already cut as if it were a template, and we trace it on the other cardboard. Sometimes you guys ask us what size of circles to make. We always use a small roll of tape because it's the perfect size. We cut it out, and when we have both of them, we're going to add a touch of color by painting it red. Perfect! And while the paint dries, we're going to prepare the puppets. As I explained before, we're going to use this paint to shape our foam. We heat our iron, and we're going to pass it through our foam very carefully. Now we place it on top of our bowl or our pan, and we hold it there until it cools down. Remember not to put the iron at too high a temperature so that the foam doesn't burn. And that's it! When it has cooled, the foam keeps the shape. Now we simply cut off the excess and repeat the process as many times as we need for our circles. And now it's time to glue them on our cardboard. As you can see, I've made some red and some pink. And we glue them on the back like this. And make sure that they're very well glued, because if not, then when you touch them, they will all move. Perfect! And now we're going to glue the other heart on top. As this one is quite big, we recommend that you do it in two parts. One half of the heart first, and then the other half. Great! And now we have our puppet! What do you think? The truth is that we love this idea of making it with foam. We're always surprised at how good it looks. And check out the sound that it makes. Almost like the real one. It looks good, doesn't it? If you do it, we will love to see it. Remember that you can send us your pictures through social media. On to the next fidget. Now we're going to make a mini sensory bag. We love this one. For this one, we took a little Ziploc bag with an airtight seal, and with a little bit of alcohol, we're erasing the stripes on the outside. And now you can fill it with whatever you want. We had these little colored pom-poms, and we wanted to put a few glitter stars because we love them. And now you can fill it with water, but we think it looks much better if you add a little bit of baby oil. And now we put it on the table like this and try to get all the air out of it. Although if there are any bubbles left, it's absolutely fine. And we're going to close it super well. This part is really important. And look how cool! We love sensory bags. Here we'll leave you more ideas to make them, but this mini one is the perfect fidget. Look how pretty this sensory bag is. It's so cool. We love to see how all the colored pom-poms and stars move. Now we're going to make some anti-stress balloons. First we're going to need a funnel, but if you don't have one, you can make one like I did with paper. I just rolled it up and cut the bottom open. We put it on top of the bottle, and we put the flower inside. When we have it, we inflate our balloon, and this part is very important. We're going to turn the top part, and very carefully, so that the air doesn't come out, we're going to put the balloon on top of the bottle. And now we're going to put the flower inside the balloon. And when we have it, we will put both fingers on the balloon top and we will let the air out very slowly. In the video, I put it in fast motion, but remember, it has to be done very slowly because otherwise you will fill the whole house with flour. When there's no more air in the balloon, we will take out a little bit of flour that might have been left on top, and we will make a knot. And now we'll do the same with the yellow balloon to make Gato rainbow. And as you can see, you can already squeeze it. And now it's time to customize our toys. We will take a black permanent marker and we will draw the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. It's very important that the marker is permanent, because if not, once we touch it, the whole face will be smeared. And now we're going to make Gato moon. As you can see, I've cut the top off. Since this balloon had a small peak on the bottom, I'm going to use it to make Gato moon's nose, which turned out a little big, but I think it's very cute. Color it pink. Well, and we've already finished our flower balls. What do you think? It's super fun to play with them. They feel amazing. But keep in mind that they can break easily if you squeeze them too much. If you see that it starts to open a little bit, you can always put another balloon over it or make a new one. But they do last some time and it's very fun to play with them. And I'm sure your little ones will love it. If you make this, don't forget to tell us about it on social media. We always love to see your pictures. The next fidget is going to be a maze. As you can see, we cut the cardboard and the foam in the same size. And in our case, we wanted it to be a square-shaped maze. And now I'm drawing on the foam the shape of my maze. I recommend you to spend some time on this part because we want it to be super cool. Remember to subscribe to this channel if you like our videos. We upload 2 every week, one in English and one in Spanish. Don't miss them. Once we have the design of our maze, we're going to glue it on the piece of cardboard. So we put a little bit of silicone, and glue it on top. And when we have that ready, we have to start making the walls. As you can see, it's much easier because I had already drawn the maze with a pencil before. We put a little bit of silicone and glue the foam on top as straight as we can. And this is how ours turned out. Now, so that the marble doesn't escape, we have to close it with a piece of acetate. Here what I did is to cut out a larger square and I folded the ends like this. And then I cut the corners so that we can close it and it will be like a lid. This way the marble won't go anywhere. Let's start by putting a little bit of tape on the corners. This will close the maze perfectly. Carefully. That's it. We do the same in the 4 corners and we have our acetate ready to cover the maze. And now don't forget to put the marble inside. And we're going to close it with a little bit more tape. On all sides of the square. And it's ready! So you can see it's super cool, we love it! We think it's awesome! And of course with this fidget you will not get bored, because it's super relaxing to do the path over and over again. What do you think? Let's go with the next idea. This time we're going to make a squishy. To make it perfect, we've taken a real image of a Gato rainbow and we're going to put a sheet of paper over it to trace it. So with a lot of patience, we're going to trace it perfectly. Don't forget any detail. And when we have it, it's time to paint it. So we take our paints and our brush and paint it. This part is the most entertaining. Painting relaxes me a lot. Do you like it too? Let us know in the comments. And while I finish painting, I remind you that we have a website full of resources that you can download. Take a look at it because I'm sure you'll find at least one that you like. When we have everything painted and the paint has dried, it's time to make the outline. For that I'm going to use a black permanent marker. Perfect! Now we have got a rainbow ready. Not bad at all, right? Now to assemble our squishy, we're going to put a yellow paper on the back. And we're going to put some thick tape on top of it. Now you'll see why I put the paper. That way we will have a perfect squishy. So you can see I'm covering the whole drawing with thick tape and making sure that it is well glued and there are no bubbles. Now we peel it off the table and fold the tape so that it sticks well to the paper behind. This way we will be able to cut them at the same time and we will have the same shape on the back and on the front sheets. And we're going to go little by little so that our squishy is perfectly closed. So you can see there's a little space open, so we're going to put a piece of tape on it. Make some small cuts. And we're going to fold them backwards. This way we have this area of the squishy already closed. And we're going to do this technique all around our drawing, remembering to leave a little opening where we will put the filling. As you can see, it's looking very cool. This is the little opening that I've left without tape. And here we're going to put the filling of our squishy. As you can see, I've decided to put this stuffing that we had, but you can also put cotton. Stay and watch till the end of the video because we fill Gata with another material and we will tell you which one we like more. When we have filled it enough, we put another piece of tape and do the same as before. A few small cuts. And we fold it backwards so that it is well closed. And that's it! It looks so nice! We really couldn't like it more. As you can see, the behind is not painted, but it has this yellow color and it looks perfect. Listen to the sound that it makes. We love the squishy. Let's see how the next fidget turns out. For this one, we're going to have to make slime. So we're going to add 200 grams or 7 ounces of white glue, a teaspoon of baking soda, and we're going to add the contact solution little by little. For this recipe I used a total of 3 teaspoons. And when we have our slime ready, you will see that it comes off the walls of the bowl. And now I recommend you to play with it for a while, because slime is super fun. And when you've played with it, now we're going to put it inside the balloon. We put it like this in our funnel, and we're going to put it in little by little. Be very patient, because this one is a little bit difficult. So you can see here I was skipping almost everything in the beginning part, so very carefully I started to push it with a pair of scissors. You can also do it with a stick or with the back of a spoon. And when the slime is already inside the balloon, push it a little bit more with your finger, and we're going to make a knot. That's it! As you can see, we have a little bit of slime stuck in these bubbles. But it's okay, because they're inside the nut. We can cut them with scissors and remove the slime. But be very careful not to cut the balloon that has the rest of the slime inside. And now we have it! It's great! It's super soft and it's the same feeling as with the slime, but tighter. With this color, it reminded us a lot of Classicat, so we're going to try to make his face. As I told you before, it's very important that the markers that you use are permanent, because if not, once you touch it with your hands, it will all be smeared. Look how cool it is! It crashes super well and always returns to the same position. Now we're going to make the marble mesh fidget with this cool one that we found. It reminds us a lot of Gato because of this purple color. And it reminds us a lot of Gato because it's purple. We're going to cut it as straight as we can, although it's not easy with such a fine mesh. When we have it, we're going to glue it with silicone. For that, we're going to put a piece of paper underneath so we don't ruin the table. We put a little bit of silicone and glue it, and remember to touch it when it's already cold. When we see that it doesn't open, we turn it over so that the glue stays inside. It's perfect. We put in the marble and we do the same at the ends. We put a little bit of silicone and when it's already cold, we can touch it a little bit so that it's more sealed, and we do the same on the other side. We're going to finish sealing it with another piece of mesh, although this part is totally optional. But look how cool it looks! We love it! Of all the fidgets we've made of this type, this is definitely our favorite. And what we like the most is that it reminds us so much of Gato. Let's make the next fidget. We're going to start by making the shape we want for our fidget toy. In our case, we're going to make this strawberry, which is a stuffed animal that Gato Rainbow and Gato love. So we're going to make the part of the strawberry and the little leaves on top. Remember that we cut it like this to make it perfectly symmetrical. And don't forget to make 2 of each. This is how we're going to assemble it later. As you can see, we're going to put 1 on each side. And now we're going to start making the outline of our strawberry. I chose a red marker a little darker than the paper. We make the mouth, the eyes, and now we're going to add these little hairs with a white marker. Ours was a little dry and you can hardly see it. Now I'll show you better so you can see. And we do the same on the back part. This time we're not going to make the face, just the outline and the little white hairs. And we're gonna do the same with the little strawberry leaves. Outline with a darker green marker. And that's it. And now that we have all this, we're going to place it like this. And we're going to cover it with thick tape. We have to cover it all. And now we're going to cut a little bit of the excess, but not all of it. We have to leave a small margin. Now you'll see why. And we do the same on the back of the strawberry. But this time we're going to cut it all without a margin. And finally we take the strawberry with a little margin and we're going to make these small cuts all along the contour. Now we put the back part on top of the other and we're going to put the small flaps that we cut to close it. Don't close it completely. When you have a small hole left, you're going to fill it with stuffing or cotton as much as you want, depending on the sound that you want your fidget to make. When you have it, you finish closing it and it's ready! And look how it sounds! It's very relaxing. As you've seen, it's very easy to make and you can design your own and I'm sure they will look great. Let's go with the next fidget. Let's start by cutting the balloons like this. We only need the bottom part. Remember that if you want more videos like this one, you can tell us in the comments. When we have all the balloons cut, we're going to need a little bit of our Play-Doh. And now we're going to put it inside. It's a little more difficult than it looks like. But it's super cool because the texture is the same as the Play-Doh, but we don't stain our hands since we have the balloon in the middle. And we're going to do the same with all the balloons. Without throwing it like I did. If you want us to make a specific fidget toy, you can also tell us in the comments. We love it when you write to us. When we already have the Play-Doh in the balloons, we're going to close them. We put a little bit of glue in one of the parts of the balloon and we overlap it this way. And we have to leave it there, being very careful not to burn ourselves. And when it's dry, we can let go. And now we're going to put these balloons with Play-Doh inside the cups. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any video. Like this. Glue it well, because we don't want it to move it at all. We're going to manipulate it a lot. And that's it. If you don't want to make a flower like us, you can make just one, and this would be a great fidget toy, or you can even put two together. But we wanted to do it a little bit different, and that's why we decided to make a flower. We're going to glue it on a piece of cardboard, which in our case is a piece of cereal box, and it will give more consistency to our project. And also remember to add glue between the cups. Stick well. And now for the center, I found this little ball of polystyrene and I'm putting it here to make it look a little bit better. We cut the extra cardboard and that's it. Now it would be ready. Look how cool! It's like kneading Play-Doh, but it never separates and it doesn't stain our fingers. The truth is that it's very relaxing. As we told you the last time that we put Play-Doh in a balloon, if you make your own Play-Doh, it will be softer. And it will be a totally different texture. Now we're going to make a very cool fidget. Check it out. We're going to start by making a shape like this on our cardboard. Now you'll see why it has to be like this. And cut it out. And now to decorate it, this is totally optional, we're going to put a bit of tape on a piece of paper so that it looks like it was laminated. Now we're going to glue it on top of the cardboard. I didn't mention this in the materials because you can just paint the cardboard. It's up to you. When it's well glued, we're going to prepare our cap. As I was telling you, you can use a tool like this or a screw very carefully and we have to make 2 small holes. But remember that they have to be big enough for the elastic to fit inside. And now we're going to put the elastic through one side and the other. And now we do the same thing on a piece of cardboard. We make 2 holes, 1 and 2. And now we simply put the elastic also through these holes. You might have to help it go through with something like I did, because it's a little bit more difficult to get them through the cardboard. And that's it, it's going to be like a joystick. Before we finish decorating it, we're going to make a knot on the back so that it doesn't move at all. And we will cut what we have left over of elastic band. It's already super relaxing, but we have to give it a cute and fun touch. So we're going to make Gato Rainbow and Gato Moon's face on 2 paper circles. The fun thing about this is that you can make whatever you want. And now we can laminate it or put in a piece of tape and put another one on top so that it will last much longer. And we cut it out. And we can put Velcro or a piece of tape on the back of it And look, we can change our joysticks when we want. We could even make all the characters of our series. Who would you like us to make and put on our joystick? The truth is that this works great and we loved it. It's much easier than we thought, and look how much fun it is. It moves super well and it's very relaxing to play with it. And since it's shaped like this, we can hold it and move the joystick with the thumb. We really love it. If you do it, don't forget to let us know in the comments. Now we're going to make a paper infinity cube. To do this, we will mark 2.5 centimeters, a total of 5 times. And in the square in the middle, we do the same. Now you'll see, we're gonna end up with a kind of T. But remember that they have to be 2.5 centimeter squares, and there must be 5 on top and 5 in the middle. We cut it out, and you see, we're left with a T. And now we're just going to fold it along the lines to be able to assemble our cube. Perfect. And now we're going to put a little bit of glue on the last little square here. And turning it over, we glue it on the top one. So you can see this is already looking more like a cube, isn't it? Now we put glue on one of the ends and glue it to the top of the structure we just made, and repeat the same with the other side. Perfect, see? Now we have a small cube. You can reinforce this with a little bit of tape, but I decided to leave it like this. And now we're going to make 7 more. In total we're going to need 8 cubes to make our infinite cube. And now with a little bit of tape, we're going to put them like this. First we're going to glue them by pairs. Make sure to put them very close together when you put the tape, so you will have a much better fidget. When we have glued all of them by pairs, we're going to lay them down like this. And we're going to put another piece of tape on the center cubes. Perfect. We turn it again, and we put it on one end. And on the other. And now, from the top, we do the same as before, on the 2 center cubes. And that's it! See? This way looks really cool, but we're going to give Gato and Gatamoon's touch by putting their little faces. So we've drawn Gatamoon in 4 little purple squares and Gato Rainbow in 4 little yellow squares. And now we're going to glue them on the cubes. Like this. And we do the same on the other side. Great! And that's it! Look how cool! We love this fidget, and ever since we bought that pack from Amazon, we've been wanting to make our own. And of course, we had to customize it with Gato Rainbow and Gatamoon. What do you think? Let us know in the comments if you liked our Infinity Cube. Let's go with a very special balloon that you're going to love. To make it, we're going to need some styrofoam balls that we're going to paint in all the colors that we want. Then we realized that it was not necessary to paint it with the brush. Simply by putting the ball inside the tempera looked super cool. Although we made a little bit of a mess, but it's okay because they're perfectly painted. And when we have them all painted, we will wait for them to dry. And now we're going to use our bottle technique to fill the balloon. We put all the balls inside the bottle. We inflate the balloon, and we twist it like this. Now we put it on top of the bottle, and we're going to empty it inside the balloon so that all the balls fit inside. Does this fidget remind you of something? We're trying to make this fidget that we liked so much in the pack we bought from Amazon. If you haven't seen the video, we'll leave it here. Don't miss it! And after closing the balloon, check out how cool it looks. It's amazing, because just like this, you can see the little balls inside. But when you squeeze it, it becomes transparent and you can see them perfectly. And also, as the styrofoam balls don't weigh anything, when we tap them a little bit, they bounce a lot inside the balloon. And it looks so cool. As I said before, you can do it with pom-poms, although we don't know if they will bounce as much. To make the next fidget, we're going to start by heating some pieces of foam with an iron. We'll have it neither too cold or too hot. And as you can see, I'm doing it slowly and carefully so that it gets warmer. And now also very carefully we're going to put it on top of the pan so it gets the same shape, because it's hot. And we hold it there for a few seconds until it's cold. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any videos. And remember to watch all the Fidget Toys videos that we have on the channel. We do the same with the other piece of foam. And we're also going to make this shape. And when we have it, it's time to prepare the base of our fidget. For that, I'm going to use this tape, and I'm going to trace the circle inside so that they're not too big, and I'm going to do it twice. Cut it out. And to make it exactly the same size on the other piece of cardboard, I'm going to do this. I put it on top and trace it like this. Perfect. And now we prepare the foam by cutting it this way, making sure that you leave a little margin to be able to put the silicone, and that way it won't escape. And now to make it look even nicer, we're going to decorate it with a lot of colors. A very easy way to decorate it is making lots of little dots. And look how colorful it is! And now we're going to put some silicone around one of the circles, and very carefully we're going to glue the foam on the inside. And do the same on the other circle. Like this. And when we have it, we put silicone all over the surface, making sure that it doesn't fall on top of the foam. And glue the other part on top. And now we give it the shape that we want. And just like that, we have our fidget! It's very similar to the real one. Listen to the sound that it makes. And the truth is that we love it. What do you think? Have you ever tried this technique? Leave it in the comments. We hope you liked all these fidgets. Let us know in the comments which one you like the most. And if you want us to continue making homemade fidget toys, don't forget to let us know. See you soon!